Hello and welcome, fellow creatives, to my first YouTube video on my channel, along with my first Christmas decor video. In this video, you'll see me how I create these 3 fabulous Christmas decor items of 2 cone Christmas trees using faux fur yarn, feather boas, and also this berry sparkle Christmas wreath. As I previously mentioned, this is my first video on my brand new channel, Moonlit Haunt Creative. And to start off with our first project, we're going to be using this cone tinsel tree from Dollar Tree. And here you see me just taking a pair of scissors and cutting through the tinsel garland in order to remove it from the cone. And here you just see me unraveling it. And once it is fully removed, you are left just with the cone structure. It is black in color, which I am going to spray paint over with this Krylon matte white spray paint. Using the spray paint, I only applied 1 coat to get the coverage needed. Once the paint was dry, I applied hot glue to the gap at the very top of the cone and then slid the very end of the feather boa into the top where the glue was applied, and then started wrapping the feather boa around the cone and adding glue to the base of the cone where needed, and then continuously wrapping the feather boa around and securing it with the hot glue. As you can see here, I'm just going through and repeating that process described, where I'll wrap the feather boa around, apply a bit of hot glue, secure it down and hold it down for a few seconds, and then continue on wrapping and applying hot glue. For this project, I did end up using 1.5 boas, and as I'm getting towards the end of the first boa, you'll see it does have strings coming out of the end. What I'm doing here is I am continuing on and I'm actually gluing the strings to the base, but then facing the strings towards the inside of the cone base, so that way they will not be visible from the outside. And then starting with the new feather boa, I'm applying hot glue to the top of the strings where I ended the last one, facing the strings again inside the cone, and then continuing on applying hot glue and then wrapping the boa around. You'll continue the process of wrapping and gluing the boa around until you get to the end. Here I'm just judging how much of the boa I need to cover the very bottom of that cone. I'm snipping off the amount that I need, pulling up the feathers so that they're not in the way, applying my hot glue, and then securing the feather boa down so that way it stays. And once it's completed, you're left with this gorgeous white fluffy tree cone that you can display as is, or you can apply fairy lights to accentuate it. For project number 2, we're doing another tree cone, but this time we're using faux fur yarn. And for this, I'm using this cardboard cone I got for 50% off at Hobby Lobby, and the same Krylon matte white spray paint that I'm going to cover it with. Now for this, I'm just also painting the trunk of the tree. You don't have to do this. This is optional. If you are enjoying this video so far, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when I do upload new videos to my channel. Additionally, you can go ahead and follow me on my social media channels. I do have an Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter account, all under the Moonlit Haunt. And you're just going to continue going on and painting the trunk of the tree, again completely optional. I just decided to do this. Now I am taking this faux fur yarn that I did get from Joann's when it was on sale. Much like with the first tree cone that we did, I am applying hot glue to the very tip and then applying the yarn to the tip to be held by the hot glue, and then I'm going to start wrapping the yarn around the cone itself. And as I'm going around, I'm going to add a line of hot glue and then secure the yarn to it by again wrapping around. And you're just going to continue repeating this process down the entire length of the tree. For this project, I did purchase 2 of these cardboard tree cones. This is a smaller version, and then I did get a larger version at 50% off at Hobby Lobby for their Christmas sales. Using one skein, let me know the proper pronunciation of that, I was able to successfully cover both of these trees with that one bundle of yarn. And as I'm doing here, I'm going around the edge, pushing up the faux fur of the yarn to make sure I am right along that edge to get full coverage. And much like with the feather boa tree cone, I'm measuring out how much I need left to finish off the cone, cutting off the excess, and then securing it down with hot glue to where you can't even tell where it ends and where it starts. And once it's completed, you have this beautiful fur tree cone. To add embellishments to the faux fur tree cone, I'm using this pipberry garland from Hobby Lobby. You could certainly use Dollar Tree's version of this. Since it's wired, I'm not adding any hot glue to the top, just securing the wire around the top, holding the garland tight, and then rotating the tree cone around to get an even disbursement of the berry garland all the way around the tree. Once I reach the bottom of the tree, I'm just going to determine how much hangover I want of the garland and then trim it off with some wire cutters. And once I cut it, I'm going to bend the excess over that bottom edge of the tree cone and then secure it down with a dab of hot glue. And once the hot glue solidifies, you're going to have your completely decorated faux fur tree cone. For project number 3, we are working on a berry sparkle wreath. I'm starting off with this 18-inch wreath form from Dollar Tree and then this organic mesh ribbon from Hobby Lobby. You will need about a little over 2 rolls of that ribbon. I used about 1 1/4. For this, I am securing the ribbon down with some hot glue to one of the rungs of the wreath, and then I'm just going to go through and then wrap that ribbon around the wreath form itself. And you're going to continue wrapping the ribbon around the wreath form. Here you're seeing as I progressively get it wrapped. It does take a little bit of time to get it completely wrapped around. Here I'm running out of the first roll, so you'll need about 1/4 of a second roll, and this is what it will look like once it's completely wrapped. You will next need 2 garlands. I got these both from Hobby Lobby. One is a eucalyptus garland and the other is a lamb's ear garland. And I'm cutting them in equal lengths, about, I want to say 4 to 5 inches, and you will need 7 bundles each of those. And here I am just showing you going through the process of getting bunches each of the lamb's ear and eucalyptus. Next up are these sparkle stems from Dollar Tree. Each stem has 5 branches on them. You will need 3 stems total to equal 15 branches for this project. And here I am just going through and cutting off each one of those branches on each stem. Next, you're going to take these berry stems from Dollar Tree. Each stem has 4 berry bundles on them, and you will need a total of 4 stems, so a total of 16 of the berry bundles. And I'm just going through and cutting off the individual stems. Once you have all your materials prepared, you're going to take one of your eucalyptus and lamb's ear bundles and secure onto the wreath form with some wire. I'm just using paddle wire. And then I'm going to go ahead and secure the paddle wire by twisting it on the back to make sure it's secured onto the wreath. Next, I'm taking 2 of the sparkle branches and layering them slightly offset on top of the greenery bundle, the eucalyptus, and the lamb's ear. And again, I'm going to take my wire and wrap it around the glitter branches to secure them. On average, I wrap it around about 3 to 4 times. Next, I'm taking 2 of the berry stems, and again, the same process of wrapping it around with wire to secure it. And you're going to go through and just complete this process, repeating it over and over again, where it is the greenery, the glitter stems, the berries, greenery, glitter stems, berries. And you can either do that going all the way around the wreath, or for mine, I'm actually leaving a space at the bottom here where you can see me indicating where I'm going to put a bow. For the ribbon, I am using this sparkly tinsel mesh ribbon from Hobby Lobby and also this gray burlap ribbon. To start the ribbon off, I'm going to start with the gray burlap ribbon, and then I'm going to make 2 larger loops, just kind of folding one over the other, and then I'm going to cut off the excess once I have the loops my desired size. And then once I have the loops cut, I'm going to go ahead and just set them on my table just to hold the shape, and then I'm going to create another set of loops, this time slightly smaller. As you can see, I was just comparing the size there, and then I'm going to go ahead and again cut off the remaining ribbon and then set it on the table just to hold the shape of the loops. And then I'm taking the sparkly tinsel ribbon here, and then again I'm going to create 2 more loops, and again I am sizing it against the larger gray loops just because it's going to sit in between the larger gray and the smaller gray. So once I have that cut, I'm going to squish the center, place it on top of the larger gray ribbon, and then place the smaller gray ribbon on top of the sparkly mesh ribbon. Next, I'm going to cut a length of ribbon from the sparkly mesh ribbon for the tails, hold it beneath to make sure that the tails even out underneath, and then I'm going to take some of my wire here, cut it off, and then I'm going to put the wire over the ribbon and then twist it underneath to make sure that all of the loops and the tail is caught in between that and held taut. I apologize that it was slightly out of frame when I was working on putting the wire over the ribbon loops. And then once you have it all tied, you're going to go ahead and just arrange the ribbon loops to your desire until you have the final look of the ribbon. Next, it's going to be attaching the ribbon. You can either choose to use hot glue to attach it. Since I have the wire, I am using the wire to hook it onto the wreath itself. And then once it's secure, you're just going to fluff the ribbon bows to your desired look. And that's going to be your completed wreath. And now let's take a look at the final reveal of these projects. I certainly hope that you enjoyed watching this video and the process with creating these 3 Christmas decor items. I know I certainly enjoyed going through it and making these items and figuring out how I was going to make the items. The creative process is always fun to figure out and challenging, which is why I certainly enjoy creating. I hope that you find some inspiration within these projects as well and possibly try them on your own. If you do try them, certainly send me a link. Let me see what your final result was. And also in the comments, let me know which one of these Christmas decor projects was your favorite. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that bell icon to be notified when I upload new YouTube videos. Thank you.